Hey, it's Marion from Bulletproof Backs. Today I want to talk about the top three strengthening exercises for back pain. They're not going to be what you think. Shock horror. I'm going to start with exercise number one. Why have I chosen this topic? Side note, because it's possibly the most Googled search term for back pain. Everybody wants to know the exercises that will strengthen their back. And everyone is assuming that you get maximum back strengthening by doing a motion with your body. I would like to introduce an idea that perhaps we can actually get way more strength out of our bodies if we take off the handbrakes that are getting in the way. So first, exercise number one. If you're trying to get your back stronger, grab a piece of paper. Start writing down the story you tell people about your back pain. When someone says to you, tell me about your back, start writing. Write what you say. Write. And then reread your story and just ask yourself, is that an empowering story? Is it a disempowering story or is it neutral? Are you blaming someone else for why you have your back pain? Are you blaming a situation? Are you blaming a circumstance? Are you blaming your own body? We want to get to the root of how you truly think about this pain situation of yours. And wherever possible, we want to find a way to tell a more empowering story about the actual ability to be on the pain journey and to be okay being on the pain journey. So exercise number one, effectively, I'm inviting you to check your own story. Check if it's actually true. Check if there's another way of perceiving your pain situation. Check if you're blaming someone. And if you are, try and find your role in that same very scenario. An example, great example from this week. I have a workers' comp client who spent the first probably 40 minutes of her 45-minute initial consultation outlining how her doctor had failed her. She had been seeing this doctor for close on 12 months with regards to this back pain, this back injury sustained at work. And she was really unhappy with how the doctor had handled the situation. And I think it's fair that perhaps the doctor could have done some things a bit better. But she's the one that kept going month on month on month to the same doctor when she was really unhappy with her management. She had choices that she didn't execute on. So she was blaming the doctor, giving all her power to the doctor for this case she found herself in, rather than reflecting on why she continued to turn up to appointments with a doctor that she thought was really not doing the right thing by her. That was her role. Every story, every back pain story has elements to it that either improve your strength or rob you of strength. So exercise number one is to look at your story and question it. Tell it to a good friend and just ask them, is that how it went? Is this basically, is this how it was? Or am I only seeing one side of my story? Exercise number two, whilst you're at it, whilst you've got your pen and paper out, write down all the feelings attached to this back pain issue. When you think of your back, write down what you feel. Do you feel hopeless? Do you feel abandoned? Do you feel angry? Do you feel frustrated? Yada, yada, yada. Write down all those emotions I was about to say, if you can work out where you feel each of those emotions in your body, then write that down as well. But that might be level 2. Just look at those feelings and ask yourself, are they helping? Are they helping you get better? Unless you're writing down peace, love, joy, fulfillment, satisfaction, fun, you're not going to be in the optimal biology to heal the tissues that need healing. So exercise number 2 is to start to become aware that attached to your back pain story are a heap of emotions that are not helping you heal. And with that awareness, the next logical question hopefully will be, well, what do I do about that? And that's where we can talk about things in another video. Exercise number 3 is basically looking down at your 2 feet, maybe looking at the wear patterns on your shoes, maybe going to the beach and standing in some soft sand and just looking at your own footprints and just working out whether you load your 2 feet evenly. If you have any asymmetry in load through your feet, you will have a pelvis that is asymmetrically loading and asymmetrically moving, which means the vertebrae, which sit on top of that pelvis, will be experiencing asymmetrical forces, which create zones of stress. And no doubt your injury will lie in one of those zones of stress. By changing your relationship of your pelvis to your feet and how you load your feet, then over time you can unwind those patterns of high stress and you can learn how to take them out of the picture temporarily so that they can heal. So they are not your standard top 3 exercises for back pain. I didn't mention your abdominals. I didn't mention your glutes. I didn't mention planks. I didn't mention deadlifts. I didn't mention all of the other thousands of exercises, which are really good for strengthening the body. In my experience, if you start at that end and you haven't dealt with the story, the emotions, and the movement habits that don't serve you, this strength work will be about this effective. You will be perpetually fighting your own internal psyche, and you'll get frustrated and you may get a temporary boost, but it's hard to keep it when that strength is capping all of this other stuff. What I've seen is a far better way to go about things. Change your story, change how you feel about your situation, make sure your mechanics are just basically lined up in the right direction, and then go and get yourself strong with all of the thousands of options out there. I hope that helps. If not, let me know. If it triggered you, let me know. Drop it below. We'll chat. And just nuts and bolts. Back pain is rarely a lack of strength. I'm a physio and I'm saying that. It is rarely fixed by muscling your way through. It is far easier, far nicer, far faster that instead of thinking something needs to be added, we've got to do extra stuff. We simply stop doing the things that are keeping us tangled. Stop the thoughts, stop the feelings, redirect your alignment. And then your body can get on with doing what it knows best. Now, I'm not diminishing how hard those first 2 things are to do. And in fact, because A, you probably don't know how, and B, maybe emotionally you don't want to even go there, that's what keeps you in the cycle. You have to bring in the understanding of the beliefs and the emotions if you truly want to move through the situation. That's my encouragement to you. And yeah, like always, let me know. Let me know how that lands. I'll see you in the next video.